In the future, the most dangerous criminals won't be locked in traditional prisons. They'll be sealed inside isolated pods and shipped off to a remote island. Australia, 2053. After the last war, crime surged to such extremes that prisons became dangerously overcrowded. The government, unsure how to cope, decided to completely overhaul the judicial system and launch a new rehabilitation program using containers. Under any other circumstances, this would have been considered barbaric. Prisoners are given two choices: either undergo rehabilitation in a container or face instant annihilation. Food and water are delivered based on the discretion of the citizens, the very people the prisoners have betrayed. Anyone caught attempting to escape or helping someone escape faces brutal punishment and destruction. The motto of the program is simple: they are where they chose to be. The containers are lined along the ocean's edge, with drones managing their delivery. Inside one of them is a young woman, prisoner number 70,122. She was sentenced to 4 years, with 755 days still remaining. The trauma has clearly broken her. With the last of her strength, she reaches for a bowl of water, drinking the final drops. Then she notices something on the floor, a blade. A manic smile spreads across her face as she slashes her own throat. On a cliff above the containers, a girl walks with a boy. They're dressed in light, flowing clothes. The boy throws a ball, and it bounces into one of the containers. That moment jolts another girl inside back to consciousness. She realizes she's trapped, her hands and feet bound. In a panic, she uses her teeth to untie herself. She is prisoner number 371,113, sentenced to 7 years of rehabilitation. Her sentence has only just begun. Confused, she hears a sharp signal. A small window opens, and she sees the ocean. Desperately, she cries out, begging for someone to release her. As the window closes with a mechanical click, a woman's face appears on a small screen. In a cold, robotic voice, the woman informs her that a jury of her peers judged her case. She has been sentenced to 7 years of rehabilitation with no chance of early release. Food and water will be provided only at the discretion of the citizen she betrayed. Once her sentence ends, she may return to the city and regain citizenship. The prisoner is overwhelmed. Hysterical, she screams that she's innocent and refuses to accept her fate. Time passes, and she lies weak and exhausted on the floor. Suddenly, the window opens. She struggles to stand and reaches out with her bowl, but no one is there. She searches her cell for any way out, but every attempt results in a powerful electric shock. In desperation, she checks the empty bowl, hoping for even a drop of water. In another container, prisoner number 13,558 sits nursing a leg wound. She has been sentenced to 2 years, with 523 days remaining. She notices prisoner 371,113 through her small window and calls out, asking if she's still alive. Later, she tries to break out of her own container. The cameras detect her actions, and an alarm blares. A monitor activates, warning her that escape attempts will result in immediate destruction. A countdown begins. A press descends and crushes prisoner 13,558. Back in her container, prisoner 371,113 resumes searching for anything useful. Nothing changes until, by chance, it starts to rain. Water leaks through the roof. She places her bowl under the drip and collects enough to drink. One day, she hears a voice. Struggling to rise, she sees a young woman outside. Upon learning her sentence, the visitor guesses it's for a political offense. Seeing her suffering, she offers her a small pouch of water and some seeds, telling her that her fate lies in the hands of the citizens. More time passes. The prisoner, now even more broken, can no longer endure the torture. She looks at the rope she was once tied with and tries to strangle herself, but she doesn't have the strength to finish it. Still trapped, prisoner 371,113 now has 2,439 days left. She unwraps the small bundle of seeds and pours them into the bowl. Then she smooths out a crumpled piece of paper and holds it up to the window, trying to read the text. Peering out, she sees the ball again and grabs it. It becomes her only distraction, a simple toy to occupy her time. Each day, the window opens and closes on a strict schedule. In another container, inmate 180,1002 sits silently. Sentenced to 6 years, he has 896 days remaining. He hears the sound of a robot drone passing by, carrying another container. Meanwhile, the same girl visits prisoner 371,113 again. She entertains her with small talk and even reads her forbidden Shakespearean poetry. The prisoner mentions she knows how to read too, but reading is prohibited during rehabilitation. The girl offers her a book, but the inmate refuses, afraid of the consequences. The girl promises to come back again and read to her. After she leaves, The prisoner remembers her seductive lips and pleasures herself in solitude. There are now 2,175 days left. The prisoner eats the seeds her visitor brought her. Right now, that's the only thing keeping her alive. Then her eyes catch something, a small book no larger than a matchbox, tucked in the bag. Turning away from the cells, she carefully pulls it out and begins to read. It's Romeo and Juliet, printed in tiny, barely readable text. Clutching the book to her chest, she's overwhelmed. Tears spill down her cheeks. With a rag, she dips it into her water bowl, trying to clean the wounds that have spread and become infected. The pain is unbearable, but she continues. After a while, another young girl approaches. Hearing her voice, the prisoner asks, "How do they decide who gets food and when?" The girl doesn't answer. Instead, she says she enjoys walking and talking with the criminals. Trying to fill the silence, the prisoner asks her age, 16. The girl replies with a sigh. The prisoner quietly murmurs, "I had a sister the same age." After a pause, the girl walks away, leaving her alone again. When silence returns, the prisoner carefully pulls out the hidden book, making sure to stay out of the camera's sight. One day, prisoner 371,113 feels the container shake violently. Looking out the window, she sees the drone transporting her to a new location. When it stops, she spots a man outside, eating an apple with satisfaction. Starving, she begs him for a piece. He sneers coldly, "I have no pity for people like you. If I could, I'd destroy all criminals." She pleads, but he makes an offer. She can pay for the apple with her body. In desperation, she agrees. Turning away, she positions herself so he can reach her through the window. But just then, the drone detects the situation. It opens fire without hesitation. The man is killed instantly. A bullet also strikes her leg. Gasping in pain, she still reaches for the apple with trembling hands. She bites into it, but recoils in horror. Maggots crawl inside the core. Disgusted, she spits it out. Later, she's jolted awake by a loud siren. The monitor lights up and informs her she has violated Code 8713, exchanging something for food. This earns her 7 days of forced insomnia. It's her first and final warning. Another offense will mean death. In desperation, she yells at the monitor, but her voice is drowned out by the deafening siren. Over the next week, she slowly loses her mind. The lack of sleep and the constant noise push her to the edge. There are now 18,001 days left in her sentence. Physically and mentally, she's broken. Hallucinations haunt her, visions of her former self, a beautiful blonde who once sent people into rehabilitation and freed them from it. One day, she watches fireworks outside the window. The monitor announces a New Year's amnesty for all prisoners, except political ones. From a lack of nutrition, she begins to lose her teeth. One day, she sees an old woman outside the window. The woman says she was once in the same situation, sentenced to 15 years. Then she tosses something into the container. It's a razor blade. Time passes. The first stranger visits her again, offering water and reciting poetry. Grateful, the prisoner tells her she took a big risk giving such a gift. After saying goodbye, the stranger leaves. That night, a voice calls out. Approaching the door, the prisoner hears a promise. They're going to rescue her. The stranger says she'll be allowed to serve her sentence under supervision. As she tries to open the door, an alarm goes off. The prisoner panics. If the door opens, it could mean death. But when the stranger lets go, everything falls silent. Later, a man appears at the window. He notices she's pregnant and has 4 years left on her sentence. He offers her mercy and points to a burning container nearby. "I consider this an act of kindness," he says. "You should ask for a swift death." Inspecting the ceiling, she spots a loose bolt and pulls it free. But soon contractions begin. Starving and exhausted, she tries to eat her placenta, but vomits violently. Suddenly, gas starts pouring from the ceiling. An alarm blares. The monitor declares that another soul has been detected in the cell, a violation that must be corrected immediately. When she regains consciousness, she realizes her baby has been taken. Hysterical, she pleads for her daughter's return, but no one answers. Now, container 371,113 is on the edge of a cliff. Violent waves begin to flood the cell. After the storm calms, the prisoner stretches her arm toward the open window, but it slams shut, crushing her shoulder. Screaming in pain, she wedges a bowl into the gap and pulls her arm free. Crying, she inspects her mangled arm and wraps it with her shirt. There are 999 days left. Her condition is critical. The wound is still not healed. One day, the container starts filling with water again. She pulls out the tiny book and reads a few lines. Then the monitor comes on. Unauthorized intervention detected. If it's not corrected, she'll be executed. A countdown begins. But none of it matters now. As the water rises, she starts to drown. Meanwhile, a drone searches for her container. It locates it and begins pulling it to shore. But lightning strikes the drone. It explodes, dropping the container on the beach. When the storm ends, 2 women and a boy arrive at the cliff. The boy notices the container and sees the girl lying nearby on the sand, barely conscious. He points it out, but the adults walk away, taking him with them. Now a question to you. If you had no other choice, would you choose a swift death or years of complete isolation? So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.